into this Kaizen. So I'm Miranda Bradshaw, the nurse manager for Hillcrest Emergency Department, and very fortunate enough to be a part of this Kaizen event where we're optimizing our ED environment, where we're looking at the flows, processes, and communication interrelationships between ED staff members and EVS. Next screen. Charter for this Kaizen was an increase in census for the ED and EDIP has impacted the ability of the team members to keep up with cleaning demands and the turnover. Between both of the EDs, we see over 100 patients daily. So that's over 100 rooms that need to be cleaned. And then to add to that, the incidentals, the other additional spaces, as well as all the admitted patients. So then we're adding in anywhere between 30 to 60, sometimes even 70 at La Jolla, additional room that need to be cleaned, and then additional, it could be 10 to 30 over at Hillcrest as well. So the objectives of this Kaizen was to clarify and understand current steps in the cleaning process, outline standard work for cleaning patient spaces, either between patients or ad hoc when certain areas need attention, to identify practical methods, processes to facilitate communication and coordination between ED and EVS team members. I don't think it's widely known across the organization that ED does not use, or outpatient does not use, the same communication tools and systems that inpatients do for cleaning. So everything was really dependent on individual communication methods. So how we'll move away from that and measure success in the future is by looking at some of our NRC results, cleanliness scores for ED and EDIP spaces. We want those to increase, as well as NRC comments. We'd like to see them having more positive remarks about the cleanliness of ED and EDIP. And then HCAHPS cleanliness scores, we'd like to see those improve as well. Next screen. Learning lean principles. Anytime you go to a Kaizen, you're going to, if you haven't been a part of lean before, you're going to get an introduction to some of the principles. So as a group, we reviewed the following lean concepts, which was process mapping, standard work, and root cause analysis. Next. We started off by kind of breaking the ice with a couple of events here where we talked about our hopes and fears. I think those can kind of be, goals and what we see as might be challenges in a little bit more of our common language. But some of our hopes were to have a cleaner ED and EDIP spaces. We wanted cleanliness expectations and responsibilities of each team member to be outlined, kind of understood between the two different disciplines. All team members wanted to feel valued and appreciated, and to produce a solution together that works for everyone. Some of the fears that were shared were things will stay the same, or we won't have the staff or tools or technology to facilitate definitive change. EVS members won't stay in the ED because it's too much for them, and people will be resistant to change and the process won't improve. Next. After we looked at those and kind of all got an idea of alignment where we were with those, we really did see that we had similar hopes and fears. So as a group, we looked at what is our current state. We reviewed the current state process map and identified pink cloud bursts. The EVS team members often were not aware of cleaning and room turnover needs. ED team members needed quicker, more direct ways to contact EVS team. There was no clear prioritization of the cleaning needs. And during some of the times of the day, that just not enough certain supplies like linens. Next. Then we did root cause and idea forms. So as a team, we identified root causes for each category. Some examples included materials. Items were frequently in low supply, like paper towels, hand sanitizers, and items that were used to clean, brooms and mops, weren't accessible. Machines. We had limited, EVS has limited Epic access. They don't have Epic ASAP, which is what the ED uses. So they can't see anticipated discharges and kind of plan and prioritize and triage out how they're going to be addressed the cleaning needs. For measurement, there's no way for the team members to actually see progress. There's no visual cue for that towards cleaning or for weekly or even daily tasks. No current way to monitor the patient's point of view when it comes to cleanliness in real time. Methods, overcrowding of the ED and EDIP, lack of understanding who cleans what, no identified cleaning prioritization matrix. And from environment, large physical footprint of ED and EDIP as we continue to expand. People are very well aware that we've extended into alternative spaces, and we've grown exponentially at each site, if not twice, but 3 times what our original size was. And then for person, need for increased coordination between EVS and the RN teams, depending on those cleaning priorities, reinforcing expectation for RNs, keeping the rooms tidy, needing more EVS team members to cover that foot space. It's grown exponentially. Next. Future state vision, we outlined desired roles and responsibilities for each team member, and that was EVS, RNs, techs, husks, volunteers for the future state, and then developed implementation plan to address the key communication and process improvement needed for that future state. Next. Implementation plan overview. One, we want to establish direct communication between ED and EVS team members, right? So we're going to obtain EPIC ASAP access for the EVS team members. Two, we're going to develop standard work for cleaning processes in the ED and EDIP, which means we're going to outline standard work and prioritization for terminal versus deep versus ad hoc cleans. And then three, we're going to ensure needed cleaning supplies are readily available. We're going to outline the process to ensure needed supplies are available when EVS team member is not available. And then four, provide adequate training and education so all team members understand their roles and responsibilities, to conduct training for EVS and ED team members on each other's roles and responsibilities, like who's cleaning what. And five, monitor and understand our biggest cleanliness gaps. So we're going to explore real-time gathering data options to understand when cleanliness gaps are the largest. Next. Our next steps are to form work groups. Those are closest to the work, to start to tackle the 30-day countermeasures. Examples, EVS team members will attend ED huddles, which we've seen, develop cleaning prioritization matrices, to outline information, understanding the needs that EVS should pass off during change of shift, to reinforce training for travel RNs, expectations on keeping rooms tidy and what waste to put in each receptacle. That is because travel RNs who are new to ED, where we have ED inpatient, had no idea that they had to clean up after themselves. I think everybody in the inpatient world is aware that if you discharge a patient, EVS comes in and does, the majority of the cleaning of that area. That's not the way it is in the ED. So that was very new. So we had to put out that information to our onboarding outside contract labor and travel RN so that they were aware, not creating more of a communication breakdown. That was a huge